Alright guys, so we're back again with a gun that you have seen a few times on this channel, and this is the B&T APC223. This is my favorite gun in the collection. I've shown it in a few different collaboration videos and whatnot, but I wanted to have a follow-up review on this firearm because it has been so awesome and I can't say enough good things about it. I cannot recommend it to you guys enough. I cannot gloat about this gun probably any more than I already have, but I'm going to. In today's market, some things have changed. Because they have changed, I felt it was important to make this follow-up video because I wanted to let you guys in on a little bit of a secret with these, okay? But before we do that, I'm going to share a little bit of bourbon with you guys. Okay, nothing special over here, just some Weller, just some Green Label Reserve. It's a really good go-to, and yeah, cheers everybody. All right, so the reasons that this firearm is my favorite of everything that's in my collection currently, or that has ever been in my collection in previous years, is because it does everything you can ask out of a rifle. It is super reliable. It's perfectly ergonomic. It is very light and nimble. It's got collapsing features that allow it to really get nice and tight for CQB or whatever you need it for in close quarters, versus it still has obviously a long reach with this 9-inch barrel. So if you do need to use it for anything further out from a couple hundred yards, it's still going to do its job there. So it's just kind of that perfect profile, I think, for your everyday go-to gun, okay? It can get it all done. If you literally had to run out of the house with one thing, this should be it right here, all right? Now, what has changed in today's market, as you have all seen, and unfortunately we have all been victims of, is this panic buying situation. And what this panic buying situation has essentially done is it has turned every freaking gun into a goddamn collector item that's worth like 2 to 3 times its normal price. And I'm talking full MSRP, which used to be something that we all used to avoid like the fucking plague. Well, now we'd be kissing somebody's fucking feet to pay MSRP, right? So this is where it's very important that I shared this with you guys. So these are not cheap. They were never cheap to begin with. Nothing that B&T makes is cheap, but that's also because you are getting a lot of bang for the buck. When it comes to the quality, the fit and finish, all of the elements that B&T puts into creating every one of their firearms, they are maybe the premier firearm manufacturer in the world today. If not, they are very close to that top, if they are not the top. So let's start with that. So these were never cheap to begin with. However, by saying not cheap, these were right around $2,900, okay? $2,900 to $3,000, depending on where you found them. They weren't selling like hotcakes. They weren't flying off the shelves by any means, and neither are really any of the other B&T models. But the only reason for that is one, people don't know about these things yet. The APC9 is gaining a little bit of steam because the military adopted it. And whenever that happens, obviously it starts to get that gun in more of a trendy, type of category where people are now starting to fall in love with it because they know the military is using it. But then they start looking at, oh, what else does B&T have? Because this thing seems pretty cool. Then they start running into the B&T APC45. Then they start running into the APC10 or the GHM or the APC223 or the APC308. And they're like, they make other guns? Yes, they do. They're not as known for their rifle caliber firearms as they are their pistol caliber firearms. However, having owned this now for, I think it's been a little over a year, having shot this every time I go to the range, I always bring this with me because it's my go-to firearm. So I just want to make sure that I train the most with this. Everything else is like, I'll take one here and there. This is the one I always bring with me because it's very important to train as much as possible with the one that you're going to use as your go-to platform. This thing has never failed me. Not one fucking malfunction. I've only cleaned it like twice in my ownership because it just doesn't get really too dirty, to be honest with you. Now, obviously, a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's a piston-driven system. It's a short-stroke piston, very close to what you would find with like the Scar. However, you know, with that being said, it's very, very, you know, easy to keep it clean. There's not a lot to, you know, field strip it and stuff like that. It's pretty easy. You just got basically an AR takedown. So you got 2 pins. You push them out the other side here. You pop them out. Lower separates from the upper. You've got this adapter back over here for your brace or for your stock. You lower that out of the way, and then out comes your bolt carrier, your bolt, and your spring. So you get everything in those couple motions right there. No big deal. So keeping it clean, very easy to do. To maintain this thing, it's literally like nothing. All right, piece of cake. It has some of the best ergonomics of any modern firearm. So again, everything here right around your trigger guard. You got your safety, very easy to engage because it stands out a little bit. It's got a very positive feel to it. You can hear that detent's very audible, very tactile. You've got your trigger is just like an AR trigger. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you can swap these out with AR triggers. And then you've got your magazine release on both sides right over here. You've got your bolt stop and or your bolt catch and release right over here, and that's it. You've got everything right here around your trigger housing, so everything's like within a finger's reach. You don't have to ever take your eyes off your target when you're manipulating any of these buttons, which is very, very nice. Okay, it's very accurate, very accurate. I mean, it's a short enough barrel to where maybe some people would question whether this thing is good out to 100 yards in terms of, you know, what you can expect in terms of accuracy. I can tell you right now, at 100 yards, I average about 2 inches, which it sounds like, you know, it's not a precision rifle by any stretch, but it is a battle rifle. You know what I mean? And a battle rifle with this short of a barrel at 100 yards, 2 MOA is very respectable. Okay, very respectable. Like even with a Scar, you're looking at right around that. An ACR, maybe a little bit more than that, believe it or not. Because of that, you know that this barrel is freaking gold. It's a cold hammer forged barrel, chrome lined. It's the works, all right? The barrel's been extremely impressive. Again, out of the short package, accuracy has been a non-factor with this gun. So $3,000, it's a lot of money for a lot of gun. What's nice is if this was a Scar, or if this was an ACR even, or if this was some SIG or whatever, some kind of popular platform that people know about. This $3,000 gun would likely be more around $4,500, $5,000, maybe even more. Even in today's market, the price on this thing has not really changed too much. However, availability has been very hard to come by. So in terms of trying to go out there and look for this particular pistol, it is definitely not an easy task. However, when people do have them in stock, they are not price gouging. So they are charging MSRP for these things. And again, that's right around 3,000. Sometimes you might find a place that's selling them for 100 or 200 bucks more, but still, all things considered in today's market, not a bad price to pay. I'm telling you guys right now, I've owned and shot lots and lots of high quality pistols and rifles in this caliber, in 223, 5.56. I've shot them in 308. I've shot them in 300 blackout. There's pros and cons to every platform. I swear to God, I cannot find anything to complain about when it comes to this thing. The price used to be something I could complain about. However, nowadays, yeah, it seems like a bargain. Take it from me that if you are so lucky to be able to find one of these available, and if you're sitting there mulling over perhaps, you know, a Scar, or you're looking at an ACR, or you're looking at a Virtus, or whatever else you might be looking at, if you have not compared it with this one, if you haven't taken a close look at this to see what the pros and cons would be in terms of everything, what you're getting, the features, reliability, accuracy, price, everything. Okay, all things considered. If this is not one of your considerations, I would tell you to take a very close look at these, and look at what people that own them are saying. Look at what people that have shot them are saying. Look at the manufacturing process at B&T. Take a look at Military Arms Channel. He's got a video where he actually toured their factory. Look at what their people are all about. This is what they live for, right? And they are true detail-oriented, anal retentive freaking gun guys, okay? And that's a good sign. It's always a good sign to find a company that is passionate, truly passionate about every last detail that goes into building one of these things. That culture, that heritage that they have in Switzerland when it comes to their firearms is something that you cannot ignore. It comes into, like I'm telling you, if you haven't owned or at least looked at and held a Swiss firearm, any Swiss firearm, just pick one. Compare a Swiss firearm, just look at how it's been built. Look at the fitment of everything that's on that, that pistol, that rifle, whatever it happens to be. And just compare it to something that is not Swiss. And I guarantee you're gonna tell a difference immediately. It's not something that can be ignored. It's like, you're like, dude, this is on another level, okay? So anyways, with that being said, I know I'm just kind of ranting right now, but I just feel it's so important for people to know that you can still find this damn thing without having to, bend over and freaking take it up the ass for an extra $2,000 or $3,000, to buy something that's inferior. So if that helps any one of you guys, if it helps one of my subscribers, I am thrilled, okay? That's all I'm gonna say, all right? So I'm keeping it short right there. If you guys have any questions, comments, please leave them in the comment section. As always, remember to like and subscribe as well as comment. Hit that notification bell to see the next one, and I will catch you guys later. Take care, everybody. Cheers.